Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
Well, it's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean? How is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
Thanks, boy.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
Let's get to the scene.
All right. My undercarriage is sweating. For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
about James Cook, is he had some things to say about what he feels like he deserves to be paid, where he thinks he can get it, and hopefully, how. What are we looking at here? Oh, can you hear me? Oh, what's wrong?
You're good. You're good. Now we're good.
Why? No one can hear me?
There was no audio.
Why?
I have no idea.
Oh, so basically, you kind of just told. I just told the story about how I'm.
There. Now we got it. Now we got it.
Great.
Thanks, guys, in the comments.
Amazing. Let's
little bit of rust. Little bit of rust.
Let's go through the comments here. Hey, man. Hey. Hi. What's up? Thank you. Oh, okay. So anyway, I was asking people what they did on the day off, what we've created, and I was just admonishing myself for creating chaos, which I don't need anymore in my life, nor does Matt. But we're here to do what we do best, break it down, build it up, and tell you where the moving parts are going to be. And we started off, Matt, this week with James Cook, kind of telling everybody
how much he thinks he's worth.
How much you think? No. much he not he thinks he's worth, how much other people thinks he's worth, because he's negotiating in the media. They all do.
Yeah.
Riveting point. Thank you for the retort.
Well, no. I mean, as far as social media goes, I mean, I'm sick of people in general taking that stuff way out of proportion. I mean, that can be an agent thing. That can be him just trying to.
We know they
mentally,
negotiate in the media. We know
everything. Yeah, I mean, exactly, and that's what it comes down to. And unfortunately, that's.
Or fortunately, I don't know if it gets us back. That's great. If not, I think I'm picking up audio on your camera.
How's that? Nope. Yeah, I get feedback in my hand. Hi. Yeah, whatever. I don't even care.
If you're listening to me, you got problems in yourself. So cool. We're good. Hey, I think it was time. Go, Matt. Take the story away.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Go back to mute.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate you.
2025 is off to a bang.
I mean, that's the one thing. Technology is supposed to make your life easier, but it's been nothing but difficulties tonight. So
I think the louder you talk, the more feedback.
Yeah, no big deal. But we're here, and there's got to be something that's going. It's not anything with the board. I have no idea what it is. I'm not even worried about it right now. So, with that being said, let's kind of get through this here.
How we doing? Lost my camera grade.
Lovely.
Just kick it away.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, as much as we're sitting here talking, wow, that is real bad.
Speaking of camera.
Yo, test.
Go.
Testing.
There it is. Go.
Testing.
We're all set.
What was it?
I don't know. Who cares? Let's go.
All right. Now we should be good. Now we're good. We're good. We got it. You're good. He fixed it on the computer. All right. Now that we have technical difficulties solved, now that I'm more frustrated than I was earlier, it frustrates me to death that these guys on I get it. They're negotiating in the media. They're trying to do whatever. That it's not a fun thing to kind of go through and try and listen to everything. And yeah, exactly, Kevin. I don't care at this point. Fuck it. Do it live. We'll do it fucking live.
It's good to be seen, right? It's good to be seen,
All
right?
right.
There. Now I feel better about myself. All right. So yeah. Now we got you on the screen. Hey,
Yeah, whatever you said for a second.
yeah. I mean, let's kind of break down these things because now I'm trying to get this all figured out here, and I'm getting even more frustrated as we go here. So what are we talking about tonight? We have the off season going on. We have we have Alec Anderson getting signing his deal. I mean, it's so. What do we think is going to happen going forward?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Test from the chat. Julie, you're great on feedback right now. Anybody else? Chat. Call Radio Shack. Weren't you an employee of Radio Shack? I don't know if everybody's going to get that joke and can hear me. Pigpen is loving this right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Fucking. Just walking around, his mac and cheese in between his toes. Just fucking. Oh, I'm happy that made air.
Yeah.
Fucking Pigpen. Fucking stay poor. Anyway, but James Cook is not going to stay poor because he's commanding. What'd you work it out to? Like $14.5 million, you thought?
$15 million.
Okay.
Let's talk about this for a second. So
here, go.
As far as James Cook goes, I mean, there's so many different ways that you can make that work at $15 million because the agent is just looking for the number. Right? It's literally just the agent looking for the number. So they could sign him 4 years, $60 million. That's not saying what he's actually going to be paid. I expect it to be kind of around, a 12 and a half or 12 and a quarter. Get him above Josh Jacobs, and then he'll still be lower than Saquon Barkley. He is a top three.
He is a top.
he's a top three running back in the NFL, but he doesn't play more than 50% of the snaps. So I mean, it's really
What the fuck does that matter
it matters a lot because
to you?
not to me.
No, I'm saying how you view it. To me, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's added utility, right? He's the best utility like currently we have. He's a dynamic running back of which I don't even think you could peg Shady McCoy to what he's kind of like doing, right?
Yeah.
Shady McCoy still had the legs. He still, the shelf life of a running back, like the NFL running back, you saw it with Gurley. You know, Gurley, stay off the ground, all that other stuff is out of the league, right?
Right.
But then you have the paradigm shift of, the second coming of the king,
Right.
Derrick Henry. So our identity was great this year. What was the identity this year? A lot of plates were full because
Everybody eats.
a lot of plates were full because
Everybody eats.
yeah, that's the one right there. So I don't know. Do we have a forward-thinking coach in Coach Joe Brady? You know, he's got a lot of chess pieces. Is James Cook kind of like a rook, or is he a queen in the media?
I mean, that's one way to put it, right?
Sure.
So I mean, that's really I mean, I don't know what is the. I don't know why. Like I get
He's
it.
popping off quick.
Yeah. I mean,
he didn't even make it out of the fucking Pro Bowl before he was fucking starting to chirp about how much he's worth.
right. Like, and it's he did it on an Instagram live. Like
I mean-
that's absolutely nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Pause it for a second. I mean, this is just being very, very frustrating right now, and
Are we all okay?
yeah. I mean, you can literally feel through the screen my actual
How do you feel your temperature, Ryan?
anxiety.
Yeah. Mute your mic.
Hey.
Yeah, no, that's much better. All right, let's go. Let's keep going.
Very good. How are we going to address this thing? Say we lose James Cook. Matt, where do we address that? Do we address that in free agency? Say
No, you draft somebody.
you draft somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was okay. We've had some rookie stalwarts come out in the NFL, right? I don't think we're still in a phase where it's the Patriot way with like a Danny Woodhead, but there are Isaiah Pacheco's, Rutgers guy.
Right.
There are a lot of things, but Matt, I want to get your opinion on something. We called it kind of a three-headed monster out of the backfield, right? We had Ray Davis, we had Ty Johnson, who cycled through some teams, Jets, someone before that, and then us, Jets, Lions, us. Say we lose James Cook, is that guy out of Kentucky? Is there a guy on the roster right now that can replicate those numbers? Because I remember Sal Capaccio. He was just like, hey, you replace Diggs and you replace Gabe Davis. They accounted for something like over 350 catches. We found a way to do that.
Right.
Can you find a way to replicate a Cook?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways to replicate James Cook on the field. You bring one of the ways is bring back Ty Johnson, give him a little bit more of the workload. You not only do you do that, you have Ray Davis, you know who you drafted last year. You also have on the practice squad right now is Frank Gore Jr., who started showing.
I like that.
He started showing something in that last preseason game a little bit. So does he kind of work in there? Because you got to remember, that's where his dad came from. Undrafted free agent.
Okay, okay, fine. You want to talk about family lineages? or sorry,
Lineages.
lineages. Sorry. Who's Dalvin Cook play for? His brother.
Nobody. Like, yeah.
Same DNA of ligaments, same pedigree, stuff like that. What happens when we pay this guy and he ends up out of the league like Dalvin? Is anybody talking about that?
No, and Neffy brings up a good point. Is James Cook part of the system, or is he a a running back? Is it James Cook, or is it a system?
I don't know. I mean, everything's been a part of the system. Is Brock Purdy truly Mr. Irrelevant, or is he a system guy? Because he has Christian McCaffrey, he has Deebo Samuel. Right? These are all relevant conversations, and I trust that Brandon Beane is at the forefront, and he has the best navigational tools to figure out what we have. Everybody else. Let's talk about a big free agency guy here, and I'll pitch it to super producer Ty. Ty, there's a big free agent out there. You don't have your camera, but we can hear you loud and clear. Who's that big free agent that you wanted to bring up to the show today? Say it to you, Ty.
Well, not a free agent.
Well, not a free agent, but categorically, he's not going to pay for the Browns anymore.
He's the guy that's going to put him over the top, Myles Garrett.
What?
I mean, you got Khalil Mack as well.
Okay. Tell me why because we've done this before, Ty. We've done this before. We've paid the stalwart pass rusher who's going to put us over.
Right.
And that's Von Miller.
There's 4 big ones out there. So what's going to make them get us over the top? Because you do have, just like Von Miller, you
paid the contract. You paid you paid him here. I remember when they kind of did that embedded series, right? Mm-hmm. They kind of did that embedded series where it was like it was thanks. Jesus Christ. They kind of did that embedded series where it came right down to the wire that Vaughn didn't even know if he wanted to be here.
Right. Right, which was crazy.
Now, is it a different scenario now that we got to the AFC Championship game? I don't know. We were kind of in the cut before. But, it's Buffalo. We're highly taxed. We're New York State. That poor crap was not political. That's just what it is. Anybody who makes, real bucks here.
Kevin in the comments saying that he's a system guy, and, this coming from a Raider fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you guys make the playoffs, come talk to us.
Yeah, when your owner gets out of P.F. Chang's and decides to get in the front office, let me know. Mark Davis guy. I've seen some bad haircuts, but that guy just owns it.
Yeah.
So, but Ty, so what I was saying before about the guy out of Cleveland, we found success, and there has been a lot of success on this Bills team for finding guys that were high pedigree, that had a second coming of career, i.e. Jerry Hughes. Very high draft pick out of Indy. He comes here and he has a career resurrection, right? Who else? There's so many people out there. He escapes me. Name. Leonard Floyd. Very high draft, very high regarded guy. He comes here and he has a second coming, albeit it was only one season. So where do we find the next pass rusher? Do we find it in the draft? Like we find Max Crosby, a guy like that in the draft. Is there a guy like that? Are we in the position in the late 30s pick to find that guy? Or is there a guy who just didn't have a fair shake in his first round team, and we can lure him in because he's worn out his welcome in his first team? Matt, what do you think, bud?
So I'm of the mind that you do whatever you possibly can to get a Myles Garrett, a Max Crosby.
But we've done that before. Von Miller.
It's different. It's different because
he's entering his 30s.
Who?
Myles Garrett.
He's 29 right now.
Okay, that's called ding-dong brains. That's called entering your 30s.
Maybe you don't pay him after the 2 years left he has on his deal.
Then how do you court him?
At this point, it's whoever the Browns want to trade him to. I get that, he's... But you do whatever you can for a Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Micah Parsons, maybe, even on a lesser extent, Khalil Mack. Because those are the type of guys that are going to come in here and, Myles Garrett is a completely different player than what Von Miller is. Von Miller's your speed, elusive rusher.
Okay, but what do you think? What do you think about that comment? Von Miller played us. He played us.
No.
He's got 2 Super
Bowls.
Okay, there's credence in this, though. He has 2 Super Bowls. What else he has to prove?
But he also wanted a 3rd Super Bowl to be the first player to ever win 3 Super Bowls with a different team. What happened is he had 10 sacks leading up to his injury. So when he goes to Detroit and plays that game on Thanksgiving,
you can have high character and I have a high motor, right? but still fleece someone for money. Your value is how much someone's willing to pay you.
And I get that. And the Bills were willing to give him 120 over the 6 years. But you know, it really comes down to it. Is Von Miller was who we signed him to be, and then he tore his ACL for a second time.
Yeah.
Like he had 10 sacks going into that. Like, you don't get that from a player that is not the former player he was. You are paying that guy for that reason to get you over the hump, and now you have an opportunity to go get a Myles Garrett, a Max Crosby. That's neither one of them, you know, knock on wood, have not been injured or are not injury prone.
Please don't hit that table any harder. The camera might go out.
But in all seriousness, you get a 29-year-old defensive end in Myles Garrett, a 28-year-old defensive end in Max Crosby that are not the same type of player that Von Miller was. You got to remember, Von Miller's 33 years old when he came to the Bills. Yes, it's only 4 years, but that's 4 more years of, you know, playing constant football, playing at a high level of football. And now you have a chance to go get somebody who's not 250 pounds or 260 pounds, what Von Miller is. You have a chance to go get a guy who's in Myles Garrett.
Why do we have a chance? Is that because the pedigree of ball we're playing? It's certainly not our cap situation. We got to do some things to get right. And how are we going to break that down with us next week?
Greg Thompson.
Greg Thompson, cover one. Catch him out next week with us. He's going to break down a cap situation, because we do have to fund the next generation of talent. So
find ways not to kill the future too.
And here is the future, right?
Right.
How do we draft, Matt? According to me, and I hope people pick this up because I've been championing this for how long, Matt? 2-3 years?
I mean, it's 2, 3, 4 years, yeah.
Yep, and it's called BAWA. What's that, Matty?
Best available when available.
What does that mean to us? Best available when available. That's going to be versus need. Best available when available. It's going to be versus development. Best available when available versus depth. Best available when available versus weighted utility. Matty, why don't you break down the first one? What does best available when available mean according to this show? And hit me with it. Best available when available versus need.
Yeah,
go.
Best available when available. Best available is
need.
Is versus need. Is best available in.
We need a corner.
Correct.
We need a corner. We absolutely need a corner.
Yeah, we need a corner, but are you going to take one at 30 if it's not the best player available when available?
I don't know. It's based on how much you weight the need. Second one, best available when available versus development.
Correct.
Who's the development guy?
Spencer Brown, Alec Anderson,
Greg Rousseau,
Terrell Bernard,
Greg Rousseau,
Matt Milano,
Taylor, Bishop. These are guys. These are guys with their value picks that we believe that when they come out of these small schools, these COVID year schools, like Spencer Brown didn't have like a fifth year, right?
No.
Yeah. He's got this big raw talent, and we developed it. We got him in a nutrition plan. We got him in the weight room, and we got him playing real level ball. You got to remember, I'm an FCS guy. Played FCS football. I know. Get through it. So he's not going to be in a Power 5 conference. Best available when available versus development. That's exactly what it was. The next one, best available when available versus depth. Maddie, take it over. What's best available when available versus depth?
Yeah, I mean that's basically drafting best available when available versus the depth.
Of what we have?
Do you draft a
quarterback,
a defensive end in the third round because you literally just went and got Myles Garrett? And
probably not.
You have Greg Rousseau and you have all those guys.
Of course, probably not. Do you draft? Do you have a chance to get like a top 5 quarterback or whatever? Right. You don't need available because you have that depth and utility, right? You absolutely do, and it's one of those things where all things can exist simultaneously. Best available versus need versus development versus depth. And the last thing that we always talk about, best available when available versus weighted utility. Weighted utility means he might be the second coming of Jesus Christ punting the football, but you don't go and get him in the first round. Right? That's weighted utility.
Right.
How much is his presence on the roster, despite being a stalwart at his individual task and position, does it mean? We don't. If he's the greatest if he can long snap the ball 96 miles from here to MetLife Stadium accurately, are you going to pick him up in the first round? No, and that is weighted utility. That's something we want to talk about a lot this year. Best available, when available, versus all 4 categories. Get to know it, get to love it, and hate us for this show. Maddie.
Yo.
I got 4 players, and we're going to round up the show because they're going to close it down. I got 4 players right now, and you tell me who on the roster embodies them the most.
Yeah,
you want to play that
go.
game?
Yeah, let's
Ty,
go.
you could judge it real quick. First one. Who is the Alex Van Pelt currently on the roster? And when I say Alex Van Pelt, I mean a guy who exited his backup career after Frank Reich exits and becomes a pretty formidable offensive coordinator, constructing the identity of how you're moving the football. Who right there could you see being an offensive coordinator like Alex Van Pelt? I bring it to you.
I mean, I have a couple of them. I mean, I think Josh could be, there, but I don't think.
I think he's made his money.
I do too. I don't think that would be him, but I don't think that we have anybody on the team that would be, that way that could, turn around and become, an offensive coordinator.
I can see Matt Collins being a pretty formidable wide receiver coach.
Yeah, that I could.
All right, next one. Who is the guy closest to, I don't know, a Steve Tasker? The duality of special teams play as well as being sneaky good getting the ball.
If they bring him back, it's Matt Collins.
I agree with that. The next one, Kent Hall. Who's our Kent Hall on the thing? The heart and the soul, according to Bud Carpenter. The heart and soul, according to Don Beebe. Who is the heart and soul right now you see on this roster?
It's Josh.
I like that.
It really is Josh, and because as he goes, the team goes.
Sure. Last one, I'm gonna say, who is the Bruce Smith, the Thurman Thomas, the Jordan Poyer, where they go away, they can win, but they can still be loved to retire a bill? That's a good one, right? I think Deion can go away.
I think
we bring him back to retire a bill.
I think that's a good one. I also think it's Matt Milano too. I think he can go away and the players would still love, or like fans would still love him if he came back.
Good question here out of Do Nephew. How would you grade Groot, Kincaid, and Elam?
Elam.
I know, he's my boy, too. Deal with it.
0 days.
0 days. Deal with it, guys. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just got back from Jackson Hole skiing.
So, Greg Rousseau.
He's a development, best available, when available versus development.
Honestly, I mean, I really like what he's turned into, but I think there's more left of him. I mean, we got to remember he's what, 22, 23 years old.
He had adult braces for a while.
I mean, he truly is, very good against the run, but his problem is he hasn't developed those pass rush moves. He literally has one move, and if he's going up against a stronger guy that's tackle and knows how to base himself, or plan himself, he's not gonna be able to move that guy and use that, and he's gonna get stopped every single time.
All right, what about Kincaid? Got 2 years out of him right now.
Kincaid, I think it's tough because he did get injured in that Colts game. He was playing with a torn PCL, and so it's a lot harder to kind of diagnose what he is. But that's the thing. A lot of times, tight ends they start developing fully in that third year. That's usually their breakout year.
Right. We develop absolute check down synergy, a little bit of playground ball, much like Kelsey, much like I got to be honest with you, Julian Edelman. He's not a tight end, but he played the outlet like he was. Last one, Kyrie Elam. That's going to be a sticky point. Elam. He hasn't figured it out that I'm doing it on purpose yet, but
that's all right. That's all right.
Student's a character.
It's late at night.
Yep.
So Elam, I had a lot of good or high hopes for him because he truly is, one of the nicest guys you could meet. He is truly a hard worker.
He's an awesome guy.
Hard worker, first in, last out. I know that everybody makes fun of that and that saying and everything else.
But it's true.
But it's 100% true. He is the first in, last out.
Is that a breaking report?
No.
So don't tweet it.
No.
Are we early on that? Does it mean it's wrong? Fucking dicks.
But no. In all seriousness, though, I mean, under what they're bringing in right now, and looking like they're gonna go more man. On the coverage side of it, not just man principles, like we were talking about earlier.
I don't think you can break it down strictly to man. I don't think you can do that at all. I think you need to have the basics to not get uncomfortable when you're tasked to play man. You can't get grabby. They're going to call it. In an offensive production league, they're going to call it.
Correct.
They're going to call it all the time. You have to know when to pick and choose when to jersey. Hey, holding happens every play. It's just there's a tit for tat. You play football.
Yeah.
You play D-line. There's a reason people wear Velcro, on their pads to tether their
There's
jerseys.
a reason why they wear different colored gloves.
Yeah.
Or the same color gloves as.
Yeah, tell that story. The Julian Edelman story.
Yeah, the Julian Edelman
tell the
story.
story.
Like it's he wears the red gloves, so
So his mom could see him, but Belichick had a problem. Why?
Because when he put his hands on somebody, you could
It's
see
a billboard.
You could see them. Like the ref's going to look at that every time, like that. Like the big caution sign.
Yeah, you're drawing unwarranted attention to a procedural foul that happens every single play. You don't want to do that. So as we wrap this up here, we'll be better. The Bills will be better. We'll be back next week. Greg Tomset. Hey, Matt.
It's good to be seen.
Good to be seen. Kind of. See you later.